Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back here for the first episode of 2025 of the Lion Pride Sports Podcast. As always, I'm Brady Bohannon.
I'm Jackson Hand.
I'm Cash May.
And I'm Pierce Elsey.
And we're going to go over first a basketball recap of last week's two games. The first one, the Lions traveled on a long bus ride to Berryville to play the Bobcats. Girls took a tough loss, 55-34. And the story of this one was Gravette's careless shots and even more turnovers.
Yeah, Berryville's full court pressure just absolutely destroyed them. They had a tough time handling it. They took the girl guarding the inbounder and doubled Palmer off the ball, and she had a tough time getting the ball, and the rest of the team just had a tough time handling it. When they did get the ball, the run and jump from Berryville was just destroyed Gravette.
I agree. I think at the start of the game, it looked like a close game. I think Berryville wasn't fully in it yet. And then I didn't get to watch the full game, but from what I did watch, we went away for our pregame talk with Coach Bush, and I come back and it's about a 20-point game. So I can't really say much of what happened, but I can say from the beginning of the game, it looked like Berryville was not fully in it, but eventually they obviously found their step and locked it in a little bit and played well.
If you want to win basketball games, you can't turn the ball over.
No,
I agree.
And you guys went into the locker room. I was at home. I watched the whole game, and Berryville went on their runs off of Gravette's turnovers. They had an incredible amount of fast break points, and also when they did get to settle down, Gravette's defense collapsed, and Berryville got a lot of wide open looks that they were looking for, layups, threes, and they didn't make a lot of them, but they just had so many of those that a couple of them fell and Gravette got down. So they just need to take care of the ball better. That's really it. I mean, the offense was clicking at times. We saw some sparks. But overall, you just got to take care of the basketball.
I want to put a positive out from what I did see. Kinley Harris is still on her, she's still playing really well, and I just want to give props to her on that for, obviously killing it on the rebound game, killing it in the paint. So, end with a positive.
All righty, and the boys took on Berryville and got the big win, 53-46. It was really tight there in that last part of the game, but, Jackson hit some big shots to give us the lead late. Just kind of go through that game and how that all folded out.
Winning at Berryville is really hard. You get off that long, windy bus ride. Guys are getting car sick on the bus, and you're just out of it. It's really loud in that gym. They have a lot of people show up, but we shot the ball really well, 47% from three, had a higher field goal percentage overall. The rebounding battle was about even, but we had more points in the paint. And we were playing without Kais, which was pretty tough. He was able to play for a few minutes and actually played really well in those few minutes, but he's on a sore ankle right now, and he just had a tough time. But we also won the turnover battle. That just equates to winning games. Got to the free throw line, all the things that you want to do to win a game. And it was tough, but we just did the right things that we needed to do to win games.
I agree. I think that you played a very important role. I think you stepped up and played a very important role. I think it took you a couple minutes to figure it out. But I think overall in the game, you played a really good game and definitely filled some big shoes. I think if there was one thing that I could talk about that didn't fully go our way, I think we had a couple bad possessions on defense. I guess not really possessions, but a couple runs on defense where we really didn't play great defense. But overall, for stopping their scores, I forgot the kid's number, but
was it 24?
24 I think it was 24.
To me, 24 stood out.
I think it was 24. 24 definitely hit some shots that I was like, I don't know how you made those. Because we played good defense, but I think overall we did a really good job.
24 had 21 points.
33 had a lot, too.
33 had 17 points. He hit 3 threes, and they were really big for them because that was pretty much all their scoring.
It felt like
only 8 points from the rest of the team.
It felt like 24 hit fadeaway jumpers all night
long.
Yeah.
He definitely did, but even though he had 20, I still think we did a really good job. Even though they had two guys that scored double-digit points, I think that even though they did that, we did a really good job of minimizing points everywhere else.
We were able to make 24, just take the shots that we want him to take,
right?
Not get the easy ones, and that's if he has 21 on those type of shots, you can live with that because, that just doesn't happen very often.
I agree.
The thing that really stood out to me is despite their record, Berryville's not a bad basketball team.
No, not at all.
And in my opinion, I think they will upset one of the top 4 teams in this conference. Thankfully, it wasn't us at Berryville. But coming from that game, we were the more physical team. Berryville's super physical. They're a young team. But that game, we were the more physical, well-rounded team. We made shots. Free throws were a big part of that as well. And we just came out on top.
Yeah, I'm excited to see when Berryville comes down to Gravette. Pierce made a great point. This is a young Berryville team, but they will sneak up on somebody eventually.
Hot take, Huntsville, Berryville tonight. Give me the Bobcats.
Wow.
At Berryville?
At Bobcat Arena, give me the Bobcats.
tough place to
game
play.
in Huntsville. It's tough for any team to win there. I agree. One of the top 4 teams in the conference is going to end up with a loss at Berryville, if not more than one.
Don't let the Bobcats sneak up on you, folks.
So now on Saturday, as the snow pushed these games back, boys and girls headed to Pea Ridge. Girls took a loss 60-45. You guys are going to have to talk about this because during that game, I was at Bud Walton watching the Hogs take on Florida. So kind of what went on during that you guys saw?
I mean, I kind of think it was the same thing that's happened in every game that they've lost.
Turnovers,
careless shots. You touched on it a little bit, pressuring Palmer with the basketball. And another thing, I was talking to Tucker Wickham, good buddy of ours, transferred over here from Pea Ridge, on if he knew how good their basketball team was. And he told me that a lot of their players go to a lot of camps. They get looked at a lot for colleges. So I think that overall that Pea Ridge girls team is a solid team, and I think we've continued to play basketball with a lot of turnovers and a lot of careless shots, and I think that's just the equation for losing a game like that.
But I will say everything that I've heard from the girls, from their coaches, and from what I saw in the game, I can't remember her number, but Pea Ridge has the best player in the conference on the girls' side.
Mackenzie Stites, number 11.
She's a great player.
She's a great
She played
player.
really good, and, I mean, it's tough to play against
Right.
a player like that. But, yeah, I mean, it seems like the girls are just having trouble. I'm not sure if it's because of the turnovers or if it's just the offense, but it seems like they're just not able to get good shots even when they do work the ball around. Maybe it's that they're turning the ball over before they can get good shots, but it just seems like they're struggling to really create good looks within the flow of their offense.
I agree.
Yeah, you hit that pretty well. And the boys took on Pea Ridge, took a tough loss, 52-41. And from my understanding, that was a lot like the Hogs game. Off to a great start, and then the wheels just kind of fell off as we went into the game. The door was open a couple times, but not able to take advantage of it.
We had the game in our hands.
We did. We did.
We had a chance to take it away, and we didn't. But, we didn't make it a lot of shots either that game. I will say that as a team, we did not play as well as we should have. We handled the pressure, in my opinion, pretty well. We just played very fast. And sometimes fast is a good thing, but watching Saturday, fast was not really a good thing.
One thing that I'm told a lot from my previous coaches, baseball, slow is controlled, fast is not controlled. I agree with what you said about speed. I think we played this game a little too fast. I think we didn't fully control. I think the first half we did a good job of controlling the game.
Oh yeah, we played a great first half.
Great first half. I think what we had it was like a 1-2 point game.
It was 24-20 at the end of the first half.
Okay. So close game. We controlled that half. The second half, I think we sped it up a lot. There were some ups in that half, but there were also a lot of downs. I think that half, we really let Zion Whitmore do his thing. He only had 10. Was it in that half or that
in the
game?
fourth quarter, he had 10 points alone.
Yeah.
And as their best player, we shouldn't let him be doing that.
I agree. And I agree. I also think that overall, not a great shooting day. You kind of talked to me. Jackson kind of talked to me a little bit about it. He was disappointed with himself, with his shooting performance, and I think that while yes, it was a tough loss. I don't think we should hang our heads on it fully because we will see them again.
And we will play way better than we did.
I agree. I think when we see them further down the road, we will be a little bit more prepared. I'm not trying to not blame it on us, but I kind of think it was a little hard to go in on a Saturday when everybody's kind of expected to be home and chill and go play basketball midday.
I will say, Kais is still struggling with that injury. When Kais is 100%, I really don't think their bigs can guard him. Kais is unguardable in the post.
Those of you who didn't watch the game, I got a really great clip of this while I was recording. Context, they have a big, he's like, what, anywhere from
he's 6'8".
He's 6'8". Kais on a hurt ankle dunked on him. Like, in the paint, not a run up, like, boom, bam, right? I think when Kais is 100%, that kid's not stopping Kais.
Nobody in the conference is guarding Kais.
That dunk, and then the possession after that, Jackson Harp hit a big three.
Yeah.
We actually took a 1-point lead. And right after that, we both offensively and defensively, we just had some mental lapses. We had the game in our hands right there.
It was in our hands.
Yeah. P. Ridge went on a big run to end the third quarter in those last 4 minutes or so. And that's really where I think the game was lost. But there was some positives. The rebound battle, we dominated.
Yeah, I was about to say
36-22.
I feel like that kind of came off the Berryville because you had to earn those for Berryville, and I feel like we kind of had that same mentality against P. Ridge, and it worked. So
I agree. But I definitely 100%. I think that when we see them again, it will not be a game similar to that. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think it's going to be a lot more similar to the first half of that game than it was just a game overall.
All we can do, both boys and girls, is just get back in the gym, get back to work, get some shots up. And
I agree.
Just move on to the next one.
Yeah, both teams take on Green Forest tonight, Tuesday, as we were recording this. We're not really going to go over our thoughts for that one because by the time we release this podcast, the game will be over. So we'll just go Friday to Huntsville. Both boys and girls, what are we looking at the Eagles? What are going to be our keys to winning?
Say it, Pierce.
I don't know.
Most of their scoring comes from their bigs, Rowdy, and their four, Caden Dodger. They have some decent guards, but they shoot it okay. They're not a bad shooting team at all, but that's where most of their scoring comes from.
And they're a physical team.
They're really physical.
We've played them before. I've played their big man, Rowdy. He's physical. But I feel like if we match that like we did at P. Ridge, when we played with that physicality, that mentality, if we knock down our shots, we'll win by +10, in my opinion.
They've got some snipers, but, I think if we execute on offense and just get rebounds, take care of business on defense, they're a solid team, but I think we know what we need to do. I think we just need to be solid. They're not a team that, you play any special way. They're not a team we're going to have to box in one, but it is definitely – they're a solid team all around, 1 through 5. They shoot it well, and I don't think they put any bad players on the floor.
I agree with that.
They're just really solid 1 through 5.
Yeah. And I think more not on the actual basketball side, but the actual just like motivation side. I love how everybody's talking about this Huntsville game. This guy is hyped for Huntsville, and I love it. And he gets his teammates hyped for Huntsville, and I love it. I think we're going to go in there with an intensity that they can't handle, and I think we're going to just stop them. I really do.
That's the plan.
Yes, sir. I'm excited for these games ahead. We thank you guys for listening to our podcast. Make sure to tune in next week, and we'll see you then. Goodbye, everybody.